Hey everyone, Derek here with a quick news update on the continued interview that Sakurai had with Hobonichi about Satoru Iwata. That was part of the book released about Iwata. Now we've already covered part 1 and part 2 in previous updates, and this time we'll be covering part 3 and part 4 and see what else Sakurai had to say about his time with Iwata. So in part 3, Sakurai mentions that he talked to Iwata when he went freelance, and he mentioned that he might be making games on non-Nintendo platforms, which Iwata was a little sad about when he heard. He also mentioned that he had a different project that he was planning to work on before he was recruited for Brawl, and the project is still unnamed. We have no idea what it actually is. Now, according to Push Dust In, the rest of the interview for part 3 is largely a repeat of the Famitsu column and Iwata Asks for Brawl, so there's really not a whole lot of new information there. It's just Sakurai being a little sad that Sakurai might put a game on a non-Nintendo platform, and the fact that Sakurai had to put aside a different game in order to work on Brawl. Nothing too major, but still interesting nonetheless, especially since Sakurai has yet to make a game on a non-Nintendo platform. Maybe it'll happen in the future, but who's to say? In part 4, Sakurai talks about the first time he saw Iwata get upset, and this was during Sakurai's early days at HAL. HAL was at the time developing Metal Slater Glory, a game that would take several years to develop and nearly bankrupted the company. HAL was renting out apartments for work, and a lot of money had to be borrowed to pay for the development. In one of the dining rooms/kitchens, the management team had a meeting, and Iwata became upset at how to pay the money back. He wasn't upset at the people, just the situation. After that, the second time that Sakurai saw Iwata upset was when he became the president of Nintendo. The company had to be reorganized, and there was a meeting dealing with technology. There wasn't really a response from the meeting, which upset Iwata a little. So yeah, twice in the entire time that Sakurai knew Iwata did he ever see him upset. And granted, Iwata probably tried to hide that aspect of himself quite a bit, but that's still rather impressive, especially in the early days when he wasn't the president of a company. However, in the end, Sakurai feels that Iwata is a very sincere person, and he recalls driving with Iwata from Tokyo to HAL in Yamanishi after joining the company. And this drive was kind of reflected at the end of Iwata's life, as before Iwata passed away, Sakurai and him went for a drive to Narita Airport in Iwata's newly bought sports car. Iwata bought the car because he figured it was a now or never kind of purchase, and if he didn't buy it, he wouldn't be able to drive it. And, well, that kind of ended up being true. But those are all the major aspects that Sakurai wanted to talk about in parts 3 and 4, and there's only one part left where he talks about Iwata's passing and the future of Smash, so we'll have to cover that when Push Dust In translates it. But what do you think of Iwata the more you learn about him? Let us know in the comments, and of course be sure to subscribe to Game Explained for more on Nintendo and other things gaming as well. Until next time, bye.